This is Cotopaxi, an active volcano and Ecuador's second highest mountain. It stands at 19,347 feet, or 5,897 meters. Katie and I are doing the Cotopaxi Challenge with Andeanfaces, a local guiding company, where we'll spend 5 days trekking and acclimating on nearby peaks, and then the last step, to climb Cotopaxi. Living at sea level, do we have what it takes? We arrived in Quito, Ecuador's capital, on December 18th. This gave us a few extra days to acclimate.
That dark mountain in the cloud is Rucu Pichincha. A good training hike before we go to the bigger mountains in Ecuador. This is technically an easy hike up a nice trail. 6 miles round trip, 2,000 feet. Except for the fact that we're already over 13,000 feet, climbing to over 15,000 feet. So you kind of got to take it slow. It's more about acclimatization than conditioning. We're here on the summit of Rucu Pichincha, over 15,000 feet tall.
Taller than that, Whitney.
There's views, but not today.
This has been the story of 2024.
The nice thing about Rucu is you can take a teleférico for $10 up thousands of feet to make the hike reasonably approachable. Near the teleférico station are these high altitude swings. Most people face out for the view. I try to get a fun photo.
Altitude.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of work.
The first day of the challenge arrived, and the theme was waterfalls. We met our guide Pablo and fellow clients Nikhil and Priya and hiked our way up the canyon and into the countryside. It started raining on us. Fortunately, our tents were already set up for us when we arrived at the Hacienda Santa Rita.
We're here on the summit of Pasachoa, an extinct volcano in Ecuador, 13,700 feet tall, so we're breathing a little thin air here. Down there in the clouds is the Pasachoa National Reserve. Supposedly pretty cool, but can't see it. Great views off to the Central Valley near Quito. We came along this ridge, along that ridge. We started actually at like a farmhouse, in some farmland, cows, and puppies. Over there you can see a hint of Antisana. We'll be headed there in about a week or so. That's a challenging mountain to climb. There, that dark is Rumiwasi. We'll be climbing the central peak of that in a couple of days for more acclimatization. And then over there, we can barely see some of the flank of Cotopaxi, where we're going in 5 days.
Day 3 had us trek from hacienda to hacienda, with a route through a canyon with more waterfalls.
Showa back there. Climbed that yesterday. Now we've just been hiking up these boards for a while. Look at that. It's a triple. 3 waterfalls, 3 waterfalls, 3 or 4 waterfalls. That's Hacienda Los Mochinos, where we'll be staying tonight. Showa back there, you can really get a sense of how it used to be a volcano as large as Cotopaxi before it went extinct and got eroded. Up there in the clouds, somewhere up there is Rumiñahui. We're hoping to climb the Norte peak, but maybe just settle for the central peak. Home stretch of the Hacienda. This is the Hacienda Los Mortinos. Day 4 of the Cotopaxi Challenge. We're starting off at the Laguna Limpiopungo, headed up Rumiñahui Central Summit, which you can't really see because today is pretty rainy and gray. So let's see how the scrambling goes. And those are the summits of Rumiñahui. South Summit, Central Summit, and the North Summit, which is the tallest. Coming down from aborting our attempt on Rumiñahui Norte is not to be today. It was drizzling on us, sleeting on us. The rock was super solid, but the sand was getting muddy, and we couldn't really find a route in the clouds and the turnaround time. Come back stronger next climb. We'll actually be with a professional for Cotopaxi. It's just us up here right now. We are just walking our way down the Cotopaxi Lodge in the red, in the distance, under a mile away. At least it stopped raining. Here's our first mostly clear view of Cotopaxi. What a beautiful mountain. Look at the conical shape. Sure looks like it'll be an interesting climb. Sur and Norte, Corazon, Rumiñahui, where we had our not quite successful attempt yesterday. Distance back there we have Coagua Pichincha and Ruku Pichincha, where our altitude acclimatization hike. In front of them, Paso Showa, where we were a few days ago. Don't know those ones. Sinchalagua, Cayambe, Antisana, and Katie. And Pablo. That's the Jose Rivas Refuge, where we'll be sleeping tomorrow night. Working our way up there and then past it for acclimatization hike. The old adage is climb high, sleep low. So it's nice that we'll be climbing above today. We made a response to was confident sleeping there before our bit of Cotopaxi. Yeah, try to take these hikes super slow. Always rough steps, longer and longer increments. Now it's 21 steps. Just arriving at the refuge. Making our way up to maybe 17,000 feet today. Right around 17,000 feet, our high point for the day. A little snowy up here, which is great news because of the conditions. Can barely make out the boot path coming across the mountain up there. Wow, there's a lot of day hikers down there zigzagging their way up to refuge.
Day 7 was finally here, with us waking up at 11 p.m. to start a bit after 12. I was too focused on making progress to get footage, but it was all in the dark anyway. You can see the route in daylight traversing the glacier, then taking a ridge past the Nazca Wall. We put on gas masks toward the summit due to fumes.
We're on the summit of Cotopaxi, second highest mountain. Took about 6 hours, and the sunrise was pretty cloudy, so...
Here we are with our fearless guide, Jose, and then Priya and her guide, Marco.
Look at that wall.
Up next is Antisana, a more technical zone. First, the Nevada Desert.
Hanging out at the Antisana high camp, 14,500 feet or so. It's been raining all afternoon. We did have brief views of the mountain up there, so we know for a fact Antisana's still there.
We made it to over 17,000 feet on Antisana and hit a huge debris field from a serra collapse. Jose couldn't find a safe way up, so we turned back. Still, this made for a fun climb with a few spooky snow bridge crossings. I only filmed the easier ones.
Chimborazo high camp. It's at 17,400 feet. That's a pretty high camp. We're in a blizzard getting to the trailhead and to start things off. Out of the rains are slow getting in the snow. Now we're kind of above all that. It feels like we're kind of in the sky. It's so high up already.
Jose and I set off at 1 a.m. after high winds. Katie had felt bad since Keto stayed back.
Headed down from Chimborazo High Camp. Jose and I summited. And the weather was not too different than all of this right now. Cloudy and snowing on us. It was a pretty tiring ordeal. It was like times we were pulling up to our knees. Like breaking trail, I would sometimes wait in places. But we made it. Not to the true summit, but to the sub-summit. Still over 6,000 meters, 20,000 feet. It's called Pico Ventimilla. And given that we got there and it was windy, whiteout conditions, close pulling up to our knees, there was just no reason to go to the true summit. It would have just been dumb, and I was pretty tired. So I'm going to say that I climbed Chimborazo today. It is a sub-summit of Chimborazo, and I've been to the true summit. So, yeah. trying to get Katie down to low altitude so she feels better.
All in all, we had a great trip in Ecuador, and thanks to Jose and Andeanfaces.